What's up, everybody, and welcome to Moments with the Mobleys. I am your man, Johnnie Mobley Jr.,
Hey y'all, I'm his wife, Deirdra Mobley,
and we something like an ordinary couple.
with extraordinary purpose. Greetings, salutations, accolades, and many blessings to you all. Hey boo!
Hey, prophetess.
Hey baby. How are you?
I'm good, babe.
You
What's
good?
up? Yeah. You
I'm
all
good.
right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
What's wrong?
We was pulling that side out to match this side.
It wasn't matching?
It wasn't matching.
What it was doing?
It looked like this side was in a little bit. It's all right now.
All right. I look better?
You all right?
I look better
Yeah,
now?
it's okay.
All
It's
right.
good.
What's up, everybody?
You touched it up?
I ain't touched it. I combed it.
Oh, I thought it looks like you touched it up on the side or something like that.
How you mean?
With the clippers, you be touching.
You trying to say the line crooked or something?
No. I'm saying it looks like you touched it up.
I didn't.
It don't look bad. No, I ain't
I
trying
just
to
got a
check
cut
you.
Saturday.
Well, that is true, ain't it? Well, what I'm thinking
I
about.
usually get cuts on Thursdays.
Yeah, okay, I'm discombobulated. Just a little bit. I was there and I don't remember it. That's fine.
It's okay.
All right.
I need you to be in the present.
I live in the present. Peace in the presence. In the present.
Well, you must have got too much peace if you forgetting stuff.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh,
Okay.
I need you to remember.
Okay.
But remember,
You had a good day?
my day was good.
Well, I was trying to not show this finger, but it's gonna show all in the taping, so I may as well just. My fingernail popped in the middle, and I was trying to hold it back. It's not gonna work
Ain't nobody saw your fingernail
until I
you
said
just
something about it. Oh, dang.
Now they gonna be looking at it the whole time.
Well, it's still the same color. Ain't that pretty?
Anyway.
I have to soak these off anyway, so I'm gonna take the rest of them off.
What was your day like today?
I filed some things, some cards, some client information. Had to go through some emails and stuff like that. Had to record a couple things on the calendar at work. It wasn't stressful. It wasn't. It was actually it went by pretty good. Let's start with the fact that I overslept because somehow I turned my alarm off when I set my on my phone for church on Sunday, and I unchecked all the other days, which was my work alarms. Yeah, and so I got up. We're did we tell y'all that we're doing a detox? So Johnny's doing a kidney and liver detox. I'm doing the full body detox, and because I decided to take my pills at night, you got to drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
And I don't think
know
that
why
was
she
a good
did that.
idea at all.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know how I got on that schedule, but I take my pills at night, y'all. And so I drink like gazillion cups of water before I go to bed.
Why don't you just move them to the daytime?
Well, I guess I could switch it.
I
don't think that would mess it up. You don't think that would, if I take it at night?
No.
Or just...
You just switch it.
But I don't want to mess it up because I don't want to not take it tonight and then take it in the morning. I don't want to mess nothing up. I may try. I don't know. So therefore, I'll be up all night.
It's not going to mess nothing up. Because you got to drink a lot of water with it. So if you're drinking a bunch of water with it, you keep getting up.
Yeah.
I think the getting up is
several
good.
times a night.
Because, y'all, her hairdresser was working at a movie. So she don't go to nobody but her hairdresser. So she was without a hairdo for quite a while.
3 weeks.
So when she went and got her hair done, her body was still in sleep mode. So when you ain't got no hairstyle, you sleep on your head anyway. She usually go about 2-3 days like that. But y'all.
I went about 3 weeks because she was away shooting this movie, y'all. Well, once she was working on set. And I went to see her Friday, got a fresh perm, fresh cut, fresh do. Friday night was good. Friday night was very good.
She be excited right after she get her hair.
And I slept real good. I didn't sleep a lot, but I slept real safe. But for some reason, Saturday night, it was awful because I woke up and I was on the back of my head. And I had curls. She had flips and all kind of stuff going on in the back. And when I woke up like this. Oh my God, am I on the back of my head? And I'm changing, y'all, because normally I would have got up, went in the bathroom
It was doing
at
her
1
hair
to
for
2
about
o'clock in the
45
morning, and I would
minutes.
have been trying to do or fix or see what was wrong. I didn't. I turned over on my side and got back comfortable on my
So
own.
let me tell you how desperate she was. The next morning, we got up to go to church. She told me, Johnny, come here and look at this and see if you can flip. If it could be, you want me to do your hair?
What I said was I knew that certain parts was flat in the back.
She said, but see what you can do.
But I just wanted him to make sure that
just flip it a little bit,
it wasn't
make sure
sticking out. Because even though it was flat, I was about to spritz it and put the blow dry on it so it could just go ahead and stay in that state versus like sticking out looking stupid. And so there you have it. So the back of the hair was messed up. But it's okay. Nice. And I'm okay. Nice. And we're okay. But yeah. But the detox it's working, y'all. Just let me say that.
Yeah.
And to get all that stuff all out. Because I know that it's getting all of that stuff. Literally. When people tell you, I'm going to knock the S out of you.
What?
The detox is knocking that S out.
So silly.
Sorry. Y'all. But y'all need to do it. You feel better. Ooh.
So,
y'all.
This week... You got something else you was going to say?
Well, I was just going to tell what we were going to do.
Well, this week, what we doing is we put out a little...
It was a question.
A little disclaimer.
It was a question.
A little question asking about, not a disclaimer.
To know some things.
But we put out a question, just one question, and it was if you can be anonymous about it, what question would you ask? Would want to ask
your spouse, your husband,
or your husband or wife about your relationship.
Right.
And we got quite a few responses back.
We did. What I can say, I mean, we got some, like serious ones that I guess,
all of them serious to somebody. They're not.
Some of them is just...
It's serious to somebody.
Some of them are just straight out petty, y'all.
When you in a relationship and you just got married, everybody be in different places.
I can understand.
The microwave place is serious. It was serious to us, and then it wasn't. So it's where you at in life, in your relationship, in your levels.
But some of them are petty.
That's not fair.
It's not fair for me to say that.
No, it's not.
Well, let's just say some of them. Well, some of them are funny, and they not. I don't think this. It could be serious for them, but to me, it was funny. So we included some of those too. So we don't have all these deep questions, But we got some light and kind of funny ones in there too.
Yeah, there's some of them are a little deep, but
yeah.
So the first one is going to be.
You said, excuse me?
Okay,
go ahead. For that burp.
So the first one is going to be 2 chops to the neck.
Oh, I thought you was touching me.
That's what I want you to think. And then pop. 2 chops to the neck. First question. Do you really not hear this baby at 4 o'clock in the morning? For real?
But what was funny was...
You don't hear the
y'all,
baby.
Let me tell y'all something. A lot of these questions we really can relate to because... we have been there, done that type of situation. So,
but this is a real question.
It is a real question.
Whoever asked this question, I can hear them.
Yeah.
And they talking to their spouse like this. So you really don't hear this baby
crying
at 4 a.m.
in the morning. Yeah.
So you don't hear that.
Yeah.
You don't hear that?
Oh, you hear it.
You don't hear that.
You hear it. And guess what? If you don't get up and give little Junior or little Dunebug or little Tay that bottle... She won't eat tonight.
So this what I would do.
What would you do?
When the baby start crying, just take the baby, lay the baby lightly beside the spouse who won't get up.
And let them hear.
Put the bottle there. And then you just go up and get in and go in the baby room.
But I think I think that defeats the purpose for it because in my mind, even though we are not disclosing any names. And some of these questions,
we don't know who asked these questions.
Who asked the. Some I do know, and some that he got, from some people that he knows. But we don't really know. We just asked a general question and we put it out. So we got a lot of responses, and a lot of them we don't know who sent them. Not that we would divulge their names anyway.
But the people that we asked they asked different people, so we don't know.
Right, so we literally don't know. But this question was funny to me because...
So tell me how you would answer this question.
Well, I'm telling you. Because we dealt with this when we had the twins. You remember, sir? You remember? So with our twins...
Vaguely.
You vaguely remember? When we had the twins, remember... We had, and we did this, y'all. We had a crib on either side of the bed. This your baby, and this is my baby.
Which I don't understand how that works.
I don't
They're both
understand.
our babies.
Well, they were both our babies, but when we went to sleep at night,
she said, "This your sleep baby."
Was assigned each person was assigned.
This
a baby.
your sleep baby. That's my sleep baby.
My sleep
your
baby.
Sleep baby, wake up. You got your sleep baby.
Right. So what that meant was, whenever they got up at night, we would change the pamper, get the bottle, and make sure that they have their bottle, they can go back to sleep. A couple nights went by where his baby was crying a little too long. Now, I got up and tended to my baby, but his baby, I think one night I checked and his baby had an empty bottle. How? How, baby? Your
First
baby
all,
had an empty bottle, and this is what you
first
do.
First of all, why these babies so hungry at night? Though?
This sound like this is a question that
what
a
they
woman.
Doing at night? They supposed to be sleeping. What they hungry?
This sound like a question that a woman asked, because sis, I know it was you who asked it, and let me tell you how to help him. All I did was
until I woke up.
Right, and he was like, I said, your baby is crying.
Your baby crying. Like she had nothing to do with this baby did here.
No, sir.
Straight up, though. Straight up.
I felt like we had already came, and
we
this
did.
was
the third.
Something that we communicated with, and so that's a part of it. This is what we communicated. This is the things that we put in place so that I wouldn't be overwhelmed. Because granted, we had Paige and Brianna. So Paige and Brianna, right, we had basically 4 babies at one time. And so, you had a baby, and I had a Paige, and Brianna was good. Once they went down for their bedtime, they slept through the night. But the twins, they got up.
All right, so
and it wasn't just one night.
Serious answer.
Serious answer.
Serious answer. I would say, if it is a husband, then which it probably is. All I can say is if he works, he probably is tired at night, not taking nothing away from the wife. You work all throughout the day. But I think if something was put in place and just y'all come on a common ground, just communicate. Every other day, you get 3 times a week, and maybe he gets 2 Tuesdays and Thursdays for him. It's his days. He got to wake, and so he can prepare himself. Most of the time, he know you go get up. So that's why. That's why I did.
Or maybe give him a weekend. Maybe he's not working on the weekend. Maybe that could work out.
Yeah, but I think and that's how you do it.
If it's the other way around, then we apologize.
Yeah, bro. If it is the other way around,
if it's her, sis, you got to take the same advice too. Because I think
I don't see no mama doing that.
Well, no, I don't either. Just like I got up and
Yeah, I don't see no mama. But it's literally communication. It has to be both of your responsibilities. If nothing's been put in place, then no, he not gonna get up. He not gonna. If you expected him to get up because the baby cried,
right?
That's so sweet. That ain't gonna happen.
Even though we were just laughing about what we did, that was an agreement that we made, and so we held each other accountable to do it. And that was And I think at that point I was at home with the kids, and you were working.
Yeah,
but we still made that agreement with each other to get up and tend to our babies. And not that I, of course, let my baby just be. Go ahead. I ain't got nothing for you today, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, good.
Talk. I can't have no dirty glasses.
And so we made that agreement to do it, and we stuck to it. And so if there hasn't, like Johnny said, if there hasn't been an agreement that's already been made, then y'all sit down and talk about it and make that agreement. Or, hubby, help out. Or like we say, if it's the other way around, wifey, help out. Y'all make that decision for yourselves to make sure that the baby, is not hollering at 4:00 in the morning because she hungry, and
most of the time it's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Pamper change, baby
fresh
hungry,
bottle,
do a
or
little burp.
if she's
about an hour later, she's back sleep. He back sleep.
Well, and then if mama is breastfeeding, I know some daddies still get up and sit up and talk to her while she breastfeeding the baby, or just hold her while she holding the baby. We tried breastfeeding one time with our last daughter, and it didn't work out. We didn't even leave the hospital with those things in place because it just didn't work out.
Now I'm positive that Jameson probably gonna be playing some kind of music while I'm doing this. But I don't like dirty windows, glasses.
He's cracked 2 windshields, I believe it was, on 2 of our previous vehicles because the gnat was flying around and he couldn't stand it to be on the windshield. He did. I'm not lying. 2 of them. Tell the truth.
How did that? I don't even.
Because you say you don't like dirty windows, glasses or windows, and the windshield is a window. It's a glass. How did I put that in there?
I was trying to kill a gnat.
You were, and I
was trying to. It's a little bit
one had
more,
nothing to do with the other, did it?
It didn't. I don't even know, but I was trying to kill a gnat, and it's kind of hard to kill a gnat like this because you got to be precise. So I couldn't do like this because that was gonna hurt. So I was doing with the back of my hand, and then I decided if I just do like this,
and he fist bumped the windshield with his window and cracked it, and didn't kill the gnat. Okay, what's the next question, Pumpkin? We hope that helped on that one question.
I guess we just uncovering each other
about the 4 a.m. feedings.
Some foolishness right there. All right. Next question is, why does your common sense work at work, but not at home? Once again, why does your common sense work at work, but it don't work at the house?
Now, mind you, these questions came from some of y'all.
These are questions,
who
real
watch
questions.
the Pat podcast, who follow us. These are y'all questions, and y'all are crazy.com.
So,
why I've never heard one like that, baby.
Why does your common sense work? I'm gonna speak from a man's.
You think that's selective?
I think I'm gonna speak from a man's. Mm-hmm. I would say, on a serious note, a lot of men have positions at their job that they feel a lot more confident in. So when they're at the job, they're making their leadership is being taken seriously. They're doing stuff and it's working like it's supposed to. So they're using their
book sense at work? I'm just asking.
I'm saying this got to do with common sense. See, this is why right here. So I'm saying that their leadership is taken seriously. Common sense
ain't common.
It's not. And when you have a flaw in your leadership, when you at the job, it's certain things you're given and you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you at the house, that's more like if you see something, you gotta, and if you don't, and you pick the paper up and the baby crying and the dog need to be taken, that's kind of like certain things that need to happen. Mm-hmm. Not positive where you was going, but my whole thing is the being encouraged and believing in yourself that has stuff to do with it. So if I might have common sense, but my common sense might not be what you think my common sense should be, which means you don't have confidence in what I'm saying, and you got something to say every time I say something. So I ain't got to say nothing no more. You got it.
Well, I think what she probably really wanted to say, because I think it's a sister who sent this question in. You just around here acting dumb. You know what to do at work. But when you get home, you just around here acting dumb.
Well,
because a lack of common sense to me says you just dingy.
First of all,
it could have been a man that said it. Well,
first of all, it could have been a man that said it. I'm just, you just really anti-womanish today. I guess everybody's a woman.
Not necessarily, sir, because you started out saying
what I'm saying
about his senses on the job and leadership.
I said I was speaking from a man's point of view.
Right.
So I was saying if it was a man who was in this position about the common sense, that's what I said.
That's right. And all I was saying,
I'm saying I might know what to do when I get home.
But you want to act like you don't know how to do it.
But every time I say something when I get to the house, you got 4 more things to say behind that because you don't think I should do it that way. So what I'm going to do is...
act dumb. So is that the case? Is that what's going on at y'all house?
A lot of men ain't really combative like that. So they ain't really trying to argue with you and all this other stuff. They done dealt with the stuff at the house. So when I get home, if I'm going to try to do some little stuff, or why you doing it like that? Or why you using that? Why you ain't tied the bag up for the trash right? You ain't did it. It's supposed to be tied up tight. Well, what you doing this? Hold up before you do this. Why you doing this like this? The dog should have been taken out a long time ago. You coming back so fast. Why you coming back so fast from the dog?
Well, I feel like now you're putting all these examples in there that they didn't add to their question.
I'm just
because
saying
what they're saying is now what they're
common sense. I'm saying what I'm saying. She trying to change what I'm saying. So guess what I'm about to do?
Well, I'm saying this: common sense ain't always common, and I've learned that in several situations from on a man's side and a woman. That common sense ain't always common.
That ain't an answer.
I feel like if you really want him, I mean, ask him why do you know what to do and you know what you're responsible for at work and all these things. Or it could be a man. Ask her. I'm not trying to be pro woman tonight. I'm just saying, again, it leads back to a conversation because when I saw this question or when you read this question to me earlier, what it said to me was, and this is just from a woman's perspective, me saying, okay, so you the boss when you at work and you know this and you know how to lead people, you know how to do this and you know how to do that. But then you come home and act like you don't know what's going on. Like you didn't know that, it was time for the filter to be changed in the house and the air conditioner. That's like common sense should have told you that. Or that if the trash cans was at the road and the day was trash day, the trash has already been emptied. So shouldn't common sense tell you to pull them back up to by the garage or by the side of the house? Why do I have to say that, baby, get the trash cans? Could that be something?
So my question would be,
okay,
why are you saying that?
Because maybe
how you know I don't already have a plan?
Maybe you left your common sense at work.
And this is why the trash can stay out to the road. This is why. Because I'm sitting down and I'm shutting my mouth. But straight up, it's a conversation.
No, but I can see what you said. It's a conversation. Because it's how you deliver it. It's how
I promise you, if this is a woman saying this about a man.
Right.
First of all, the question, why you got common sense at the job and not here? If you probably said that, if you said that to him, then you got it, sis. You right. You right. I ain't finna argue with you. I am who I am and I do what I do, not because I believe in who I am as a man and I know I'm 100% man and I do what I do and I do have authority. And I know that my wife allows me to have that authority. But if she wasn't the person, if she throw daggers all the time with her words, and sisters, y'all know y'all be saying little slick sly stuff. Y'all know. And if you say slick style stuff and your man don't say nothing back to you, that ain't because he weak. He just, you good, you got it. You got it.
Yeah.
So if I feel like a leader at my job and people respect me and honor me, why I'm going to come home when I'm disrespected and try to lead this? You good. I'm going to come home, get me something to eat and go to sleep. Do the minimum. So it ain't that I don't have common sense. My common sense ain't what you want. It ain't what you think it should be. And you trying to bark orders. So with you barking your orders and you doing this, then okay, you got it. Now that don't mean that the man don't have responsibilities. He got to do what he got to do, but it's probably a tit for tat. So y'all need to have a conversation. Have a conversation.
Yeah, and women, it's all about your delivery.
All about your delivery. A a relationship, it's about compromising. It's about solving. Solution minded, period. You in this together, y'all making decisions. It got to be one decision from both of y'all to make this thing run. So it's a conversation, even something as small as that. Mm-hmm. And because your perspective ain't what you think it is, maybe you don't know your spouse. You want to read the next question?
Sure.
Because you around here talking about common sense ain't always common.
It's not. We right here?
Yes.
Oh, this is a good one, y'all. This is a good one. And we went through this one too. Do you believe that there should be gender roles in your relationship? And why? Example, women should wash the clothes, women should cook, women should clean, and men should cut the grass, take out the trash, and wash the cars. What you got on that, Mo?
Gender roles.
Yeah.
No. I don't think there's no such thing as gender roles.
Yeah, we don't agree with that. We don't agree with it.
At all. You're husband and wife, y'all people. So it's stuff that I do that I necessarily don't like to do, but I don't want my wife outside cutting a tree down. I don't want her, either I got to do it, I got to pay somebody to do it. It's just certain things I don't want my wife outside doing.
I think to start, not to cut you off, but it starts with what are your expectations? Like and we talk about things like this in gender roles and different things like that.
Yeah.
In premarital, when we have premarital sessions, because what you don't discuss and just what seems to be simple things like these is gonna come up long term.
Yeah,
it is, because the husband is over here going, well, let me go back. We can use ourselves, because Johnnie had this mindset of, I thought Deirdra was going to do what my mama did. She was going to cook. She was going to clean. She was going to take care of the kids. She was going to do this, that, and the other. When in all actuality, that wasn't something that we talked about as far as, gender roles and stuff like that. That's what you expected. It goes back to expectation. That's what you expected.
But it's nothing we ever discussed.
It's nothing we ever discussed. Yeah. And then, of course, I was mostly a stay-at-home parent.
Yeah.
And worked when I could. But again, it wasn't something that we technically sat down and said, well, okay, when we start having these kids, you're going to be the stay-at-home mom, and I need you to make sure that you're cooking, make sure that you're cleaning, make sure that you're taking the kid, washing the kids, taking care of the kids. You handle all the inside stuff, and then I'll handle all the outside stuff.
Yeah. It didn't go down like that. And most people, when they get married, they don't discuss that stuff. They don't discuss who cutting the grass, who keeping the cars clean, who washing the dishes, who cooking, and that stuff, love, that level of love can take it but so far. There are a lot of different levels of love, but that level of love can only take it but so far, because you expect that person to do that. But if that person never did it, or never expected to do that, or never quote unquote signed up for it, then there needs to be a conversation.
Right.
Private expectations will kill your relationship.
Yeah.
If you talk about it with your friends and your families and never with the spouse, the person you actually live in your life with. Or you
talk about it in your head and never say it to your spouse.
So it has to be a conversation. It shouldn't be no gender roles. We've said this in our podcast before. My wife, because we had so many kids and they were little, she had a lot on her plate there. So yeah, I did do a lot of washing the clothes, drying them, putting them up, helping clean the house, helping cook, all that. And it's my mom kind of raised me like that. I was the only biological boy and her son. So although I got a lot of brothers, but I was the only biological son. I was the oldest. So I learned a lot of stuff from her. Cooking, cleaning, sewing, everything. And then different things that I was in, military, all this other stuff. So I learned a whole lot of stuff. So I use it. Whereas, and we talked about this before, my parents, they were my parents. I lived with them. Whereas my wife, her mom and dad wasn't married. So it was sometimes she was at a mom house, sometimes she was at a dad house. So it's just was different lives. But when you get together and you expect something within, and you the only person to know about it, but you mad, and then they don't know what you mad about, that's a conversation. I had to be compassionate about how I grew up and how she grew up. I had to be compassionate about, at some point in time in my life, I had to be compassionate about these things. I didn't know what it was to have a baby back to back to back to back to back. I just put the babies there. Anyway, I got a little off track. I just helped put the babies, and then when the babies came, I had to help take care of them. So it was more to it than taking care of them. Sometimes taking care of the babies wasn't me actually taking care of the babies. It was me cooking or cleaning, whatever the case is. So no, we don't have roles. We don't have no type of gender roles. She can wash the car just as good as I can, or we go out there and wash together. A lot of times we tag team stuff. We just get together in the kitchen. I wash, she dry. We get the stuff together, sweep the floor, get the floor, everything, and then we just have conversations. There are a lot of moments in your life where you can just do stuff like that. But no, we don't. It's no such things as we don't see it as gender roles, especially, and that was when we got married. So for sure, not now in 2021.
But I think another thing, I know there are a lot of marriages now that have both spouses are working, and you got kids, and so you're out of the house all day, and you working a full-time job, he's working a full-time job. You got two, 3, 4 kids, or how many ever. But y'all need to figure out what that looks like. Because once we figured out what it looked like, after butting heads and going through all that we went through, then we were able to get on the same page with everything.
Yeah.
And it went a whole lot smoother than when we first got married and stuff. But if you're, one of these couples who mom is not a stay-at-home mom, mom is a working mom. And so mom is, making sure the kids are, washed and fed, and dad, you may, make sure that you're helping out too. Or dad, if I'm talking to you, and then mom, make sure that you're helping out. But if both of you are at full-time jobs and y'all trying to swing, if the kids got any extracurricular activities, like, talk about that and figure out a way that you can get that to work within your household. Okay, so little baby boy got a little baseball game tonight, or just whatever, or Sally got a cheer competition, or just whatever is going on. Figure out what that's going to look like during the week, because like Johnny said, if the husband is over here thinking, well, I know you work and I know I work, and we got these kids and they got stuff going on, but in his head, or in, he's thinking, well, I still want her to make sure the house taken care of, make sure, what I'm saying? Yeah. Do all the chores of the house on top of everything that she got going on. And the one thing that I will say, and I wish I knew it sooner, like, if y'all in a marriage where it's the scenario, just like I said, full-fledged, both of y'all got full-time jobs with the kids and things like that, and this is for the wives, and I say this and I mean it wholeheartedly. If you're a wife working outside the home, y'all got all these things going on, get you some help. Again, I'll say, get you some help. Whether it's somebody to come in and help you clean, or help to do the heavier stuff.
Go ahead.
The heavier stuff, get you some help. A maid service, ask your good girlfriend if she got somebody that she knows
don't
that
ask
can.
Your girlfriend.
Don't
ask your girlfriend.
No. I'm saying that if she knows somebody,
hire you a little team of people to come in there you don't know, handle business. Just every
baby,
now and then.
You ain't listening to what I'm saying.
I've heard what you said.
No, I'm saying to maybe refer somebody, because maybe she got somebody helping her.
Refer somebody.
Yeah.
I thought you said
saying, no,
bring the
absolutely
girlfriend
not.
in.
That's not what I said. No.
Don't do that.
But I think a lot of women in these days feel like they got to be like super mom, and in the meantime and in between time, you're overwhelmed, because it ain't but so many hours in a day. And so if you need help with just like I said, the big stuff around the house, and you maintaining it, but you get somebody to come in and do a deep clean, or to help you straighten some stuff, or do whatever, like, please take advantage of that. Please do. And don't think you have to be this per se, superwoman, and you superwoman on the outside, but you dying on the inside because you tired and overwhelmed. Okay, that's my 29 cents. Come on, let's go to the next one.
That was like 33.7.
It was. Bless you, Sally.
All right, so this is the next one.
What else we got?
I make more money
Oh.
than my husband.
Oh.
And we split our communal bills.
Our what?
Communal bills.
Communal. Mm-hmm. You got it right, boo. Okay, go. I'm just playing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're trying me, y'all.
I'm not, baby.
He has more bills than me, so he runs out of money fairly quickly. He is always asking me for money and help, and I didn't mind in the beginning. But now we have a toddler, and all I want is some time to myself to get my nails done, etc., etc. He always gets an attitude saying we can't afford luxuries. And I really want to say, no, sir, you can't afford.
Oh, this is ghetto.
You can't afford them. I got them. I'm good. It's you. Don't put me in the boat with you.
Oh, God. Oh,
Am
God.
I wrong for contemplating divorce?
Yes, girl, you wrong. You is way wrong, sis.
Oh, that came from a stressful place. That came from a stressful place.
Sis is tired.
No, I'm good.
Babe, you know what'll be on those divorce papers?
What?
The reason? Irreconcilable differences. That's where that go in. Irreconcilable.
He want my money to do. I gotta get my nails and stuff done.
Right. And okay, so then we just go back to what we was just talking about. About the choke. Expectations. You knew, or maybe you should have found out what kind of bills he had going into the marriage, sis. Because I was hollering when Johnny read that to me. Because at the end of the day and at the beginning of the next, when you married him, them bills became y'all bills, sis.
So
she made him sound like he wanted the kids.
So
he a boyfriend.
I don't usually call females jokers, but joker.
That ain't no ma'am. You ain't got no grounds for no divorce on that.
You just sound like you a little frustrated. First of all, and this is my opinion. Mm-hmm. First of all, why we got your money and his money? That's what I want to know. Why? First of all, why we got that? Why we got his money and her money?
She make more money than him, and he said we can't afford those luxuries. She said, "No, you can't." That was good.
Yeah, but that's a real question from a real place. But that's a genuine
feeling. Yeah. And I know, yeah.
I don't like Deirdra. I agree with Deirdra. I don't think divorce has, that ain't even, that shouldn't even be on the table. I think a conversation need to be had. And I think if y'all put y'all money together, then y'all can pay the bills and then split the money to where y'all both have enough money to do what y'all have to do and probably save some. So I think that's a little deeper than the money thing. Because like I said, if it's still your money and his money, then that's a problem in itself.
Right. Absolutely.
So, but no, I would say it's not wrong for you to think it because every couple's thought about getting a divorce or leaving or separated or whatever, that's a part of the relationship. But don't do it. That's not a reason to do it.
Yeah.
It's just not.
My question would be another part to that. Did he have those bills when y'all got married? Because I said it just a couple seconds ago. If he had those bills when y'all got married, then they became your bills. Because y'all didn't have a conversation about what bills you were responsible for, what them student loans look like, or just whatever looked like. And now if these were frivolous bills that were obtained throughout the marriage and he was just out there being reckless, then that's going to even lead to a different conversation where, okay, sir, I don't know what you got going on or how you went out and just thought you was going to, max out credit cards or do whatever you were going to do. Then maybe that deserves a conversation to say, baby, you need to go get you a part-time gig. Yeah. And pay some of these bills off. I'm serious. Point blank, period.
I agree with that. But in the same tone, I would say, y'all married. Y'all a team.
Yeah. Or you go get that part-time job and let's put all these together.
Let's
and then let's hurry up and pay these off. Yeah.
And then y'all talk about it. But you got to find out. That's one of the things in dating you're supposed to find out. Find out the person you dating, their credit score. Find out what they got going on. That's a part of dating.
Their credit what?
Their credit score.
Okay.
But
you need to know.
Their credit score. You need to know how responsible and irresponsible they are.
Yeah.
Not by the words that they say, but by the actions that the history say. So yeah, and you offer yours up too. Now, if your credit score ain't right, then you probably ain't gonna ask them about their credit score. But and score, because my wife keep looking at me.
I wasn't bothering you, Pooh. But yeah, that's the answer. No, sis, don't get a divorce.
No, girl, don't go nowhere.
Don't get a divorce.
Y'all just had a baby. Well, don't go nowhere, huh?
And that ain't like legit sit down and have a come to Jesus moment. Okay, so what are all these bills over here that you got that you've acquired, or like I said, it may have been that he had them when y'all got married. Maybe you didn't know, or maybe you didn't ask. But I mean, even if it was that you didn't know and now you know, or they were accrued during and you didn't know that he was doing it, or getting in debt like that, or whatever.
That ain't what the question said.
What did it say?
The question ain't saying nothing about he accrued no.
Well, it didn't say that, but I'm saying that could be a very viable question. That did he
get him while he was
right, or before, or did he have him before they got married? I'm just saying in either situation.
Yeah, or do you know the bills he paying?
Right. In either situation, what I'm saying is have a moment where y'all sit down and y'all come to the tables with the bills and see how to get out of this to solve the problem. Because we're always forward thinking and solution minded.
He said we can't afford all these luxuries. Oh no, sir. You can't.
I could hear that coming out of my
mouth. Yeah. Oh no, she probably ain't said that to him, but that's what she was thinking.
If she said all that, I think she said it to him at some point. I don't think
she might have said that.
So you just don't know some women.
This is a question. Remember, this is an anonymous question that some people ask.
Right.
If they spouse didn't know they was asking the question.
Right. I understand that. She probably said that to him.
I don't think she did. I don't think she
did. You got some bold women these days.
Yeah,
be like, no, I can go get my nails done because I make more money than you. That's a whole nother. That's a low blow though, sis. Just remember y'all on the same team. Yeah, legit.
Solution minded.
Yeah, forward thinking.
Find a solution.
Find a solution for it, but
y'all
not
the same team.
Not
you're not individuals.
Not going and filling out some whole divorce papers.
Yeah.
Because what you gonna put on the line about why you ain't?
And what you about to do when you got this baby? That ain't Just think that one through.
That can be solved.
Go take your nail money. Go get your little spa right quick, and then come on back home and get yourself together.
You crazy. You are crazy.
Oh, she said, no, sir. That's you.
No, Johnny. I can go get my pedicure, my nail done, and my lashes done, and my hair done.
Yeah, and like I said,
you the one who need to borrow money from me to get a haircut.
Like I said, if that's what y'all talking about, then that's a whole different. If that's where y'all at in y'all relationship, then that's deeper. That's deeper than this right here.
Okay, Mob, I got a good one.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
How do you allow yourself to trust your spouse after they've cheated emotionally by entertaining someone else? Via there was no, there was no sex involved, no sexy involved, but it was an emotional affair. How do you come back from that?
From an emotional affair?
Yeah. Like I said, they didn't, meet up and have sex or anything like that. You just found out that there was conversation occurring. Some text messages or some, how do you
more deep conversations?
Yeah.
Why? I would say you can come back from that. Point? You can come back from that, but it got to be from changes. So if it's him doing it, then the change has to be real, as in,
or it could be her. It could be her talking to somebody too. Either or.
But the changes will have to be real because that energy and that time that he was putting in to have conversations with the other person, that will have to change with the spouse. Now, I would go and say this a little bit further. See, all these are byproducts of something deeper. So when a man has to go or a woman has to go and have conversations with somebody else, it's that's not the right decision. Let me just say that that's
At
not
all.
what you do. You
Yeah.
find help on how to get past whatever y'all going through. But it's something with his self-esteem. It's something with that might be going on in a relationship that he don't feel safe, that he don't feel or she don't feel safe, and they feel more comfortable with somebody else. Remember what we said in one of the podcasts. I can't remember, but remember what we said is when you meet somebody for the first time, you ain't never meeting the real person.
Right.
It's always the what you call it? What's the person that you sent out to go meet people? The what?
Yeah.
The representation.
Yeah.
So you don't meet the Johnny. You meet
You sent
the representation
the
of who
representative
I want you to
meet.
Yeah. So
that ain't really him.
it takes a while for all that stuff to them walls to come down for you to feel comfortable. But it can be built back. But the person, whoever this person is, it can be built back, but the change has to be real. Which means all the energy and the time that you were taking to spend time with this other person talking, that now has to be focused on your spouse. And that's the only way. The only way you know when things are changing is by its fruit. So if he wasn't talking to you or she wasn't talking to you before, and you found out they was emotionally involved with somebody else, they was having all these conversations, telling their deep, dark secrets, da. So now if it changes and it goes to you, and then the question need to be asked is, why couldn't you come to me? See, this is where the communication gets real, because if it's a reason why, it's probably a reason why he feel or she feel the way they feel, and then it's probably the spouse probably don't even know. They don't even know that they make you feel like that. But you ain't had a conversation, so you just went on out and fixed it yourself. And that's how stuff happens. So the conversation got to be had, the real conversation, not the fake conversation, not the conversation that your representative want to have to make you seem like you somebody who you really still trying to figure out. It wasn't until I told Deirdra the Joker, I don't know if I'm gonna take you the right place, but I'm gonna try and I'm gonna go this way. And she said, I'm gonna follow you as you follow Christ. But some conversation got to be had, because every man don't know. You just don't know. Every woman don't know what they need to be to their husband. But it takes work. It's communication. So I can almost guarantee that whoever had this who was cheating emotional, was doing it because they didn't feel like they can go to their spouse because of something that their spouse was doing that their spouse didn't even know. A conversation. That's what needs to be done. Yes, I believe it can come back from that. I do believe that.
Yeah. I think because one time I talked to a person about this same type of situation, and she was dealing with her husband having emotional affairs. And I guess the woman side of me wanting to like be on her side, if you will, was like, yeah, you need to do this and you need to do that, and you're worth more than that, and you don't need to sit there and you don't need to take that, and you need to put him out. And y'all don't listen to me about that. That was many years ago when I was saying this stuff. But what I know now that I didn't know back then was, like, what is the total situation? Not that I would give him a pass to do it, but what I would later find out is that she was being a real
Joker.
Stop with her. Okay.
Joker.
Okay.
Everything is Joker.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Joker. She was being a real Joker. But because what she neglected to tell me is that, like, she was using her mouth as her weapon. You tearing him down. He everything but a good man. And all these things, but yet you wanted him to treat you like this queen and do all these things for you and be all this for you. But you were basically tearing him down. Yeah, your words was basically killing him slowly.
So I'm gonna plug my book, The GPS of a Man's Journey. Got a chapter in there for you women. Go check it out. The power of words. It will bless your whole entire life.
But yeah, that's the part that she neglected to tell me. She gave me all the information about how he was doing this and he was talking to this one and he was talking to that one, but she neglected to share with me that he didn't feel like his heart was safe with her.
Yeah.
He didn't. And so he also didn't feel like he could be vulnerable with her because she used that against him.
Yeah.
And that could be a whole nother episode in itself, but I'll just keep it short by saying this: like, you have to ask, because there's two of you all in the marriage, and so what you have to look at, no matter how a lot of us, and I'm gonna say it, we want to be the victim, but we don't want to tell what our part was in that emotional affair happening. Sometimes, it doesn't matter. You can be the best wife. You can try to uplift him and support him and this, and that, and the other. And there are times when it's solely on him. His stuff that he dealing with, he not ready to commit, or he don't want to commit anymore, or he's doing it and you have absolutely no, you don't have, as far as him being able to say that, well, you wasn't doing this or you wasn't doing that. You legit were being that girl and trying to do everything to be supportive to him. But then you find there are instances when you find that the woman has been basically verbally abusing him. And I'm saying it because it does happen. A lot of us don't want, especially as women, we don't want to look at it that we're the ones doing the abuse. And it don't have to be physical, but if you always tearing him down, you've been tearing him down, you wasn't trying to lift him up. Maybe he was trying to get himself, off the ground with a career or something like that or whatever.
Oh, he don't know.
Right. But you never had anything positive to say. And so my thing would be, so what did you want him to come and talk to you about? What did you want him to come and share his heart with? Why would you want him to come and share his heart with you and share his flaws and all that stuff if he didn't think that it was going to be safe with you?
Because he was hearing his flaws thrown at him every day, all day.
Yeah. And so again, not that that's an excuse, but what I'm saying is, like, check yourself. Check yourself.
It has to be something that's done. Yeah. You can't. The communication, y'all, has to happen. And we can't say that enough. The communication and the listening. You have to have real conversations with your spouse, because this is the person you're supposed to be living the rest of your life with. So it's stuff that you have to say to them that it's just secrets. Do you know how many couples live their life right now with secrets that they got from their spouse? Like legit secrets. Like stuff that done happened to them. Stuff that they done thought about doing, stuff that they done did. They got legit secrets. But then you trying to love your spouse from a damaged place because that damaged you, and it's like a cancer in your relationship. Do you know the decisions and the choices that you make, the results it manifests, and it affects your thinking and how you see stuff and the direction you going, it affects that stuff. Take it from, listen, being stressed on my job had me a nice, not so nice person. But my wife endured that for a while because sometimes I would snap at her and I would know I would be a little mean because I was stressed, I was tired, exhausted. But to hear my wife tell me since I've been on medical leave that, Joker, you fun. Nah. I'm fun now. When I'm thinking, I know I wasn't that great, but I still was all right. And then now she like, no, you wasn't. No.
Was acting like Sleepy Johnny.
all the time, 24/7. The sleepy Johnny just was ruling. But
And it wasn't. It wasn't that you were this horrible person.
But I know.
You were consumed a lot.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
when you consume with stuff, when you consume with secrets, when you consume with decisions that you done made, when you consume with all this stuff don't go away. The enemy has you captive as long as you give that thing power. How do you give it power? By keeping it a secret. So when you expose the secret and when you talk to somebody, that frees you up. Yeah, it hurts the relationship and your spouse, but it frees you up to now build on something better.
Yeah.
But you can't build on nothing better when your part of the house, you supposed to be having like 12 trusses and you supposed to be holding the house up, and Joker, you got like 4 good ones. 4 good trusses. That's it.
What's that, man?
And 8 trusses questionable.
What's trusses?
Trusses is the beams in the house.
Oh, don't be using them words and I don't know what the word you talking about. Talking about trusses. I thought you were talking about trust, but was trying to say it real sexy.
They call trusses, but
it's the builder in him. So, but listen, you can come back from it, and I'm telling you, you can.
You can come,
yeah. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it takes, like Johnny said, the unveiling of truth of falsities and everything like that. Is that a word, falsities?
It's too late now.
It was just now. I just made it one. There. Yep, it's one. So, or untruths.
Allison,
let me put it like that.
Know. She do.
Untruths.
She ain't supposed to
but you
have no sense.
And if you're the one who has been, with the verbal assaults and all that stuff or whatever, be open enough, like Johnny said, to come together and to figure this thing out. Because when you find it, of course, the first thing you want to do is, well, you didn't sleep with her or you didn't sleep with him, but you were talking to them and you were sharing things with them. Be man enough or woman enough to sit down with your spouse and say, let's talk about why you didn't feel comfortable with coming to me and talking to me or telling me about it. And let me say to you, I apologize if I ever made you feel like your heart wasn't safe with me. Or y'all get what I'm saying? Anything of that sort, because at the end of the day, you're in this marriage too, and y'all a team and y'all together. And so I'm coming the way we are now. If there's something that's going on and I come to Johnny and I say, hey, babe, I found or I saw or whatever, you give me the explanation, but we're always talking about, and not this is, that we be going through stuff or whatever, but I'm just saying when it did happen or if it was to happen, we own our stuff. Let me put it like that.
Yeah.
Because I like to say that a lot.
I thought she was finna tell me something. I wasn't ready.
I wasn't.
No. Say cut the camera for a minute.
Keep the cameras on. But but what I'm saying is you have to have that real and that genuine conversation. Because I want to know if there was something that I did or I didn't do to make you feel like you were secure here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that you went out and talked to somebody or you did whatever. Not saying that it was you, but I'm just saying in this certain scenario, y'all can come back from it. But both of you got to be vulnerable enough to say, him to say or her to say, y'all to say to one another, I'm sorry, but I wasn't getting this from you. Or I'm sorry, you were, beating me down at every other turn.
Yeah.
And y'all both human. So there's sometimes when you're not going to get it right. But you got to be willing to be heard, be understood, be a whole lot of forgiveness.
And it takes time.
Yeah, and it takes time.
The healing process, the forgiveness process,
to build the trust back.
It takes time,
even in that.
So you have to stop, but you gotta first take the power away from the thing.
Yeah.
If you don't take the power away from the thing, it will grow and it will continue to contaminate the relationship.
Okay, Mo. Let's pick one last one. One last one.
You got one?
I think I do.
Go ahead.
Why do you think issues will just fix themselves? in a marriage?
Why do
It
you
won't.
think issues will just fix itself? So I can say, straight off the rip,
Because some people think that it will.
no, they don't. Don't nobody think that it'll fix
So
themselves.
you think that's a cop out? That
That's
you're not wanting to talk
that's
about
a
it?
fear. They just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
They don't want to have a
Ooh.
conversation about it.
Yeah.
It's not that they think it'll fix itself. They just think it'll just go away so they won't have to discuss it. This is a person who does not want to have deep conversations past a certain level.
Yeah.
They don't want to have the conversations. They don't want to get in the place to where we got to have this deep conversation and talk about all this stuff and feelings and this, that, and the other. And in 2021, I would say a lot of that is men, but a good bit of it is women too.
Mm-hmm.
Just we don't want to talk about it. And that's the whole thing. The number one ingredient for keeping relationships together and moving is the one thing that people don't want to do. And that's talk. Talk and listen. That's it. The only way I'm gonna find out if something's hurting you, if I'm not doing something right, if I've hurt you, if I disrespected you, if I embarrassed you, if I didn't make you feel, only way I'm gonna find out these things sometimes if you tell me. Because when we were first dating, yeah, I was paying attention to all that stuff. Now we got these kids and I got these bills. I got to work these jobs.
Other dynamics.
Yeah, sometimes
now.
I need help. So sometimes you got to say, not saying that that you're not important no more, but this is a team. So you got to say something, man.
Yeah.
The conversations, I'm telling y'all,
All
the
women.
conversations in relationships now, man, it's just, you got this image of who you think you should be as whoever you believe you should be, and it ain't even close. So you're trying to uphold this one thing and trying to be this person, and it's not working. It's not until it's okay. When I told my wife at times when the pressure was on for me to make decisions, to make moves as a man of the house, as the leader of the house, sometimes I had to tell her, hey man, hold up. I don't know. So just give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Look,
hey, what we doing? What direction we going? How we building? What we doing with this legacy? What we doing? Where this money coming from? With Joker? Give me a minute. I don't know. Just give me a minute. Sometimes that's the answer. A lot of men don't want to say that.
But that's the truth, baby.
But it's not until I say, she's a helpmate. So it's not until I say, hey, I don't know right now. Give me a minute. She know what to pray for. So now she's in prayer. I'm praying. I'm asking God, looking for guidance, sending me resources, whatever the case is, to make the moves. But yeah, it's the trust. You just, I don't forgot what the question was.
Oh, you got deep in that.
I did. I went a little deep.
Did I
real
press
quick.
sometimes to say, baby,
Tell me.
what's going on?
No, I think the pressure
you answered
was
the question.
The pressure was, it was created by me, because I got a wife and I had one baby, then I had two babies, then I had four babies, which I was scratching my head on that one. Then it was 5, 6, and I was like, God. And then it was all girls, and I was like, hey, congratulations. Appreciate it, man. You ain't got no but girls, boy. I appreciate it, dog. I appreciate it.
And inside, what was going on? That was going on inside, baby. You look a mess. Oh, Lord. What's going on?
I was, woo.
What I'm going to do? Oh, Jesus.
All right.
It's a lot.
All right. What I'm about to do. What am I about to do?
But for a long time, I didn't realize that. I didn't understand the pressure.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was
just
a lot.
That, well, he worked and he making the money, and we gonna be all right.
That was she said. We gonna be all right.
And then when he would decide to leave, I'd be like, I'm gonna be all right without that joker. He ain't got to never come back, because I'm gonna take care of me and mine. And then you used to come back in through the back door.
And then I'd be like, why you don't care I left? I left. You ain't said nothing.
Right.
You don't care? You got somebody else? See, that's when the conversation.
That was some
It
foolishness.
wasn't until we sat down and had the conversation. I'm telling you.
It was a lot, y'all.
I'm telling you.
It was a lot.
Right now, y'all probably looking at this and saying, this is what this joker do. He done
Right,
left 20
right,
times.
right.
But then when I don't go after him, now he mad.
Right. How you left, and then when I don't come running after you, then you come home and you mad because I didn't come after you. Man, get out of here with that foolishness.
Because the conversation need to be this. Hey, I'm going to continue to try. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm going to keep feeding y'all and taking care of these bills and stuff. But as far as the direction right now, sis, I don't know. I'm going to do my best and, hopefully God, tell me something. Or I get something or something happen. I don't know. But I'm going to just continue to pay these bills. And that's how you live your life. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, man, when you got the kids and stuff. And that's why some jokers
check out.
They just check out,
mentally, emotionally, and everything else.
And all they feel like, as long as I'm paying these bills and you got gas in your car, food on your table, then that's the love. So just leave me alone.
Oh.
That's what some husbands
some
do.
say, yeah.
But
we got through it, y'all. We did. Bless the Lord.
We did.
Oh, my soul. I got one more thing before we go, because we're going to go. One of the questions said, we talked about needing, a man feeling needed. Do I make you feel needed? Do you need to feel needed?
Do I need to feel needed?
Yeah, do you need to feel needed?
At this time, no. Back in the day, I believe I did, but I didn't know I did. I needed to feel needed, but what I needed to feel needed was from you. But at times, it didn't matter where it came from.
So now,
that made sense.
So now
it has to come from you,
right?
So it's you make me feel needed. I'm always feeling needed based on our relationship and where we are. So that's not the time. And I've built up enough self-confidence to where I'm in my life right now. I'm good. Mm-hmm. I'm good. So that's not there. But yeah, back in the day when we was together, when we first got together, I'm like, when we was together, like we ain't together no more.
Oh, we gonna always be together.
Yeah, I figured. I knew that was that's what the pause was for.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah. I was waiting for the salt water stuff. But anyway. Back when we first got together, it was, yeah. But wanting to feel needed for the right reasons, that's important. Wanting to feel needed for the right reasons. If you wanting to feel needed, to feel important, to feel valued, to feel worthy, to make you feel like a man, then them the wrong reasons. Them just the wrong reasons. Wanting to feel needed because you appreciate it. That's the needing that you need to feel. Because the rest of that stuff, the emotions of this stuff go away. So if you don't feel valued and worth yourself, if you don't get to that place, then you will always be jumping around to the next hit to make you feel valuable and wanted and needed. And that don't get you nowhere, because if you don't never feel that for yourself, then you just gonna be out here doing whatever, trying to get it.
Well, I love and need it, want you, baby.
Love and need it, want you, baby. Love and need it, want you, baby. I love and need it, want you, I do. And it's more than you ever know. It's for sure. I love it. Forevermore. I love you. I need you, honey.
I'm going too fast.
You are. You just messing up the whole song. Okay, we done. We finished, y'all.
What happened?
Oh, it's not. We do not. Y'all, I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tear up the microphone.
So-
Y'all, we do not own the rights to that song. And so there you have it. Because Facebook and all these things, you know, they'll turn you off real fast.
Yeah.
We sorry. We just felt you need to sing, y'all.
So what we want to do is thank y'all
For these questions. We actually have some more.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions. So
We do.
we
appreciate y'all.
We're gonna do a part 2, and we're gonna talk about some of this stuff again in a podcast, do some podcasts on these different things.
Because sometimes we ask y'all for stuff, we need y'all to respond because we want to know what y'all, you know, going through or what you're thinking about or what you might need a question answered that something we've encountered a whole lot, y'all. We have encountered a whole lot. And so I always tell Johnny that, you know, we don't go through things, and neither do y'all. We don't go through things for ourselves. We go through it because there's always, in the end, going to be somebody that needs to know, needs to hear that testimony, needs to hear that you went through something. You know, here I am in this marriage and I feel like I'm drowning. I feel like I'm going through things that ain't nobody ever been through in their life. But, you know, it's so, and because it's happened for me, it's so refreshing to know that I might meet somebody that I may have never met before, but we just end up talking and they end up sharing their testimony about when this happened in their marriage or when that happened or when this happened in their life or, you know, if something else happened. That's the very same thing that I was going through. And just because of their willingness to share their testimony, they were able to help me overcome. Or for, you know, to help solve that issue or that problem. And so, your testimony, your story, your trial, your tribulation, or whatever, it ain't for you. Go through it and get better because you will encounter somebody who's gonna need help. You all right?
I want to say.
What you want to say, baby?
www.momentswiththemoblies.com. Listen, all things Mobleys. You can find us on all the platforms there. Go cop this book, The GPS of a Man's Journey. I wrote it about 2-3 years ago, I think. Longer?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
About 2-3 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's a
Maybe
chapter
4.
in there. The book is real nice, small, it's sweet, but it's packed with a bunch of nuggets.
That's what you call them, baby, nuggets.
So you have to, the power of words is in there, and it talks about how women sometimes use their words against men. Some
to
knowing,
tear down and not to build
some
up
knowingly
and
some unknowingly.
Yeah.
And the way a man thinks when they're going through that. So, and it goes through my years of, you know, mentoring and counseling men and all that good stuff like that. So, but also testimonies of survivors.
Testaments of survivors. Women healed and whole.
Women healed and whole is available right now on the website, www.momentswiththemoblies.com. Also,
we'll be adding my book, Praise Jesus, that y'all been waiting forever. And I thank y'all so much for waiting.
The process is real, y'all.
Oh, Jesus.
The process is real.
So that'll be added. It's called 25 Ways to Please Your Husband. And all I'm going to say is, it ain't what you think it is.
It's not.
It's not. It
all
ain't
that
what you
was
think
not.
it is.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. It's good, though.
It's not about to tell you.
You're right. All these raunchy positions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It'll give you some good nuggets.
It's gonna give you a couple of positions, but you know, like when they say fall to your knees, they mean to pray. It's not. Now if you married, you can pray.
That could when you get finished
and then
praying.
The beneficial part of it is you can stay on down there if you want to.
So this has been.
I can't put that on film.
That was for a night.
My PR looking like she like.
Oh, that's good.
Come on.
Okay,
man.
Go ahead, baby.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for responding to the question. Y'all keep sending the questions in.
Yeah, we appreciate
and we will
y'all.
do this on the podcast. We will answer questions. Yeah. So this has been Moments with the Mobleys. I am your man, Johnnie Mobley Jr.
And I'm his wife, Deirdra Mobley.
And we are something like an ordinary couple.
But we got extraordinary purpose, y'all.
Peace out, y'all.
Night, night.